So let's connect to the Walking Dead universe here. So coming at you October 30th, 2022. We're going to talk about The Walking Dead 11:17 to 11:22. Discussion, breakdown, all that stuff, potential spoilers if you haven't seen the episodes. Depending, of course, spoiler warning for other stuff. So, we'll wait for YouTube to catch up and people to join and all that stuff too. So, I don't know about you guys, but 22 and 21, they've been good episodes, but a little underwhelming. Not much has happened. I don't know. It's just something that we'll talk about. We'll talk about general topics, the episodes that already aired in the first, 15 minutes or so, and then the last 45 minutes. We'll be talking about the latest episode, 11:22, titled Faith of the Walking Dead. So, Negan 1, what's up? Phantom Deluxe, how are you? So, we'll just wait for more people to join and for YouTube to catch up. Lindsay, of course. Milagros Cosia, someone I've never seen before, but it's always good to have new people in here. And, of course, the old faithfuls like Negan 1 and Lindsay and a bunch of other people that'll be joining in a little bit. So, overall, guys, The Walking Dead, it's October 30th, the day before Halloween, so happy Halloween to you and yours. I'll be talking to you next Sunday after Halloween, so if you're going to be trick-or-treating with the kids or handing out candy, or if you had a party yesterday, hopefully you're safe and sound and you're doing good. Here in Florida and Tampa Bay, it's going to be a hot one. It's going to be like 85 degrees. So I'm going to be handing out candy, so I will not be leaving my house. So my wife and I will be handing out candy. We got some candy yesterday. And it's always an interesting thing. So it was interesting that comes up on Facebook, like when you get what you posted 2, 3, 4 years ago. And I guess 4 and 5 years ago, my wife, my dad, and I, we all went to Georgia to the Walker Stalker conventions and took some tours, Atlanta movie tours. And it's sad because I would love to do that again, but Atlanta Movie Tours isn't there anymore. Walker Stalker Con isn't there anymore. But they had the camp, which is a smaller type of convention for the Walking Dead fans and some of the cast. I know that Jerry was there, Princess, Mercer, and Lance was there, a couple other people. So if anybody was there, I think Dawn is there or was there. So that's pretty cool to see if anybody can, talk a little bit about it in the chat. Always welcome, and it's good to be a part of the Walking Dead universe. And I'm glad they are having some outlets and conventions for the fans, because Walker Stalker ended up falling apart, and it was a big old mess with allegedly funding and money and payouts and what people were owed and whatever. But it was a great way to meet people. It was a great way. My wife and I, we got to meet. I'm looking at the picture across the way. I see the picture of Norman Reedus and Michael Rucker. My wife and I got to meet them. We met Denai Guerrero twice. We met Carol. We met Negan. We met a bunch of cast and crew of The Walking Dead and fans and stuff, and it was awesome. It was just a great experience. We got the basic passes, and it really wasn't anything great for VIP in our mind, so we didn't do that. We got the panels. We got to just go on cruises, and we got to have – it was a lot of great stuff. It was a lot of great stuff for sure. So, AMC The Walking Dead one says, 2 episodes left and no Rick. What are we going to do? We need Rick now. Well, don't hold your breath for Rick to show up. Like, if you're waiting for Rick to show up in these final episodes, you're going to be disappointed. Because they're not going to see him at earliest would be the final episode of The Walking Dead, if not the post-credit sequence. To me, it doesn't fit to have Rick Grimes show up right now. Because that's going to take all the limelight away from the previous cast, the story, the Commonwealth. And Rick's not connected with the Commonwealth. He has nothing to do with anything. He went away from the CRM that we have no idea if CRM's connected with the Commonwealth or not. We can hope, we can wonder, we can guess, we can theorize, but it's not been announced. People could be like, well, how do they not know about each other? And they have to know about each other. Great, then connect the dots on the show. Like, it's not that hard to have the 3-ring circus show up, the warden guy be connected with it. But we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it at all. And it's annoying for us fans. It's annoying for us to be like, we just want connections. We want to have a semblance of Rick somehow, some way. I'll even take a Michonne reference. I'll take Michonne on the radio, right? But she just left, was on the radio, and haven't heard from her since. Don't know how much time has went by. Judith is in good hands with our group, but not really right now because she was taken by the Commonwealth, and we'll have to see what happens there. So we'll have to see how it goes down. But to be honest, I've enjoyed all the episodes so far, but I think that episode 21 and 22 are the weakest so far out of 17 through 22. 17 was we're back, we're rocking and rolling, we're doing this, we're doing that. 18 was Sebastian's gone, great. 19 was a little more story after that to see where it's going. 20, Lance, the stuff with there. 21 was like, all right, so we're going to find out stuff about this, and it's going to be slow. Okay, good, we'll wait for next week's. And, it's another slow one, but I want to wait for next week's. But we're running out of next week's, right? So if we're going to have 23 and 24, and that's it. It's done. The main show is over. Right? So I'm thinking, will we have a great conclusion of the story? Will it feel rushed? Will it feel incomplete? A lot of shows end poorly. Whether it's time, money, constraints, just ends abruptly. But The Walking Dead decided to have this season 11 be the ending. You didn't have to at all. You could have had a 12th season. You easily could have. And frankly, the way it's going, they should have. In my eyes right now, it just feels like they're rushing things in these final couple episodes, and then it's like, boop, over. That's it. And then if Rick doesn't show up, people are like, Rick, where's Rick? Where's Rick? Where's Rick? I can just see a bunch of people being mad on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and everything else. I think that's just going to be what it happens. Phantom Deluxe, do you think there was no need for the Commonwealth arc in the series? Instead, if they brought CRM and Rick in... No, you need the Commonwealth story because that's the comic. All right, we know that the show is the show and the comic is the comic, but you're going to hit... I remember so many people they're going to skip the Whisperers and go right to the Commonwealth. They're going to skip this and go right to that. They're going to skip... They didn't skip anything. They added stuff that was unnecessary, like the Reapers... Certain changes that weren't good. Some changes were really good. Some were okay, and some were terrible. Right? But the Commonwealth stuff was necessary for the... We all kind of knew this is where the story was going to end with Pamela Milton and the Commonwealth and the resistance at the Commonwealth and the riots and whatever you want to call it. Rick or someone, Rick was gone on the show, so someone like Rick could get shot by Sebastian, which didn't happen, luckily. Sebastian being killed is a difference from the comic to the show, which is I'm fine with. I'm glad Sebastian was taken out. And then Lance last week was taken out for the AMC shows, but AMC Plus, we saw it a couple weeks ago. So by my count right now, even up into 22, we've lost two people, Sebastian and Lance. Are they afraid to kill people off? Are they afraid to not do what they did previous seasons where they were killing people off left and right? They're like, every season was like, oh, no one's safe. Who we could lose anybody. And then now all of a sudden we're like, we haven't really lost a big character in a long time. I asked the question in one of my recent videos and someone said Alden was the last big death. And if Alden was the last big death, that ain't saying much, in my opinion. Even though Alden was okay and he turned into a likable character, but it's not like Glenn or Abraham or even Sasha or somebody like that. Diana Q&A, hi, Bri. The Watcher was really good. I enjoyed it. So, yeah, so the last time I talked to you guys, The Watcher was on Netflix, or it is on Netflix. It's a series on Netflix. And I enjoyed it all the way up to how it ended. The ending just feels like... And I feel like The Walking Dead might be like, that's how they're going to do it, huh? But The Watcher is good. It's worth watching. It starts off good. It's 7 episodes, I believe. And it's worth watching. It's something good to watch on there, too. So my wife and I watched Hocus Pocus 2 yesterday on Disney Plus. And I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. And I don't even really like Hocus Pocus 1 that much. It's okay. Like it's the funny Halloween kind of comedy movie. It's not a scary movie. So my wife and I, we watch Halloween Ends and Hocus Pocus 2 so far for this Halloween. And I'm not the biggest Halloween person by any means, but I thought Hocus Pocus 2 was okay. And I do like the callbacks and the connections with the first movie, But the original cast is not in it. It's new people besides the Sanderson sisters. And they're like the focal point of the movie anyway, which is good. It's just like it, I don't know, like especially Sarah Jessica Parker's face, her makeup looked pretty terrible. Bette Midler looked great. I mean, she looked better than anyone on the show, and she's the oldest one. And she looked great. She did a great job as usual. They had their moments. It was okay. But it's worth watching, especially if you like the first movie, that's for sure. But so I don't know about you guys, but what would be a rewarding what would be a rewarding ending of The Walking Dead? And I know we're all going to say Rick Grimes shows up. Rick and Michonne show up. But let's take that out, right? It's like Constipated Sin City says, we were promised Rick. Well, nobody promised anything. I don't think anybody promised Rick to show up. So don't hold it against The Walking Dead. If you're going to think The Walking Dead ends with Rick Grimes showing up and it doesn't, you're going to be disappointed, that's for sure. But unless he shows up, I just don't think it makes sense by any means. I think it's going to be a post-credit sequence that makes sense to set that up for the future of it, just like The World Beyond post-credit scene set up the variant walkers. But it had nothing to do with The Walking Dead World Beyond, right? I mean, it did, but it didn't. It was CRM and, talking about some connections there. But the Walking Dead post-credit scene, like post-credit scenes, to me, Marvel did that. And they do it very well. Whether it's like a scene and then credits and then a scene and credits and then another scene at the end. Like, if you're watching a Marvel movie, you're going to stay and watch to the end. And I wish every movie did that. I wish they had something, especially movies that were going to be a sequence of movies or a trilogy of movies. I wish they would do that. It sets things up. And I think The Walking Dead is going to take that from Marvel, and it's going to take its to see where it's going in the future, too. Let me see what you got for here. Other questions? I saw one, and sorry they're jumping around. Jonathan Lloyd, Q&A, do you think CRM is coming next episode, or we have to wait till the finale? Again, that's another one, right? So if CRM doesn't show up, that's going to feel incomplete in my eyes. I don't know if they're going to show up. Like right now, they should have shown up already. But I don't think they will. And there's somebody that there's a couple people in the comments when I make my videos, and I'm asking the question about CRM. And you could tell that the person gets mad about it. It's like, let it go. It's not happening. Does that person work for The Walking Dead, or they just know information, or they just, not think it's going to happen? Because right now, they're right on. We haven't seen CRM. The warden, we'll talk about him in the last 45 minutes, half hour. But right now, striking out with the CRM connection. The helicopters have not been back. Jadis has not been back. Rick has not been back. And nobody has been back. It just doesn't make sense. The Mark Shark, and there we have it. Tyler Davis wasn't sent to the CRM; he was just a labor camp. So yeah, we'll talk about that Mark Shark. But I don't know. I mean, The Walking Dead and Gimple, really, because CRM is not in the comics. There's like just like when Constipated in Sin City, great name by the way. Like he says it again, Rick and Michonne was promised to us. Boulder Dash. Boulder Dash. But nobody was promised anything. If you think you were promised anything, then you're going to be disappointed, and you're probably pissed off if and probably when Rick doesn't show up. If he does, great. If he doesn't, we can't think of it that way. Right? I just don't know what they're going to do with Rick Grimes coming up, and it just makes sense that the CRM connection should show up, but it probably won't. Like I've been saying, there's too many times for us that we're like, oh, that makes sense if they do that. That makes sense if they do that. It makes sense if they really do that, and then nope, writers didn't do it. Because is it they don't see it the same way? Are they trying to throw us off? Are they dumb? I don't know. Do we see things in a different way than in the writer's room? Because there's still some plot holes that are out there. Some pretty big ones. And in 2 episodes, I don't know if you can really wrap it up. I just don't know. Plunzi, is the final episode longer? Well, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know, but the word is that it is. That's what a lot of people are saying, but a lot of people are saying a lot of things like Rick's going to show up, and this is going to happen, and CRM's going to show up, and that's going to happen, and this is going to happen. The episode's going to be the longest. I don't know. We just don't know yet. Until it's announced by The Walking Dead, I could see it being longer, and I hope it is, but it's crazy to think that it's October 30th as I do this live stream, and I've seen 11/22. So we have 11/23 and 11/24. So next week, which is 11/6, we're going to watch 11/23. And then we got to wait 2 weeks to see how it ends. And if you know anything about the finale or episode 23 and possibly 24, there's going to be a big war. There's going to be a big battle. There's going to be stuff that's going to happen. Will people be injured? Will people die? Will people be killed? Will people, on both sides? The Commonwealth versus our group. Daryl is carrying somebody. I don't know. It's just something that, we'll have to see how it goes down. But it's going to be annoying because I think that's going to be how the episode ends, with Daryl carrying somebody that's injured. If you know this channel, you know who we think it is, who it's most likely this person. I think that's how the episode's going to end. And then you have to wait 2 weeks to watch how the finale ends. Yeah. Great writing in my opinion too. So all right, guys, let's get into some spoiler territory. I just want to give that spoiler warning. We just want to make sure that if you don't know this information, you stop watching now, yada, yada, all that stuff. Phantom Deluxe Q&A, how do you think the storyline would have turned out if they had shown us the French variant like walkers in the main show in earlier seasons? I just think it would have been thrown in. That's a great question, Phantom Deluxe. Hey, Zenith. I like the idea of the variant walkers. I like the idea of it. I don't think it really fits because it's just late in the game. I just think the variant walkers would have been better earlier. And the variant walkers are here. I think that takes away from the whispers. I think it connects, especially when Aaron was asking about, the whispers, they're whispers, watch out, they're whispers. It fits very well, but I think it would have been better if it came there in season 9. I just think it would have fit better too, and it kind of would have been better than the Reaper stuff if we had that, the variant walkers instead of the Reapers, but the writers do what they do, and that's really it too. So, but all right, guys, so let's talk about the spoilers a little bit. So, like I said, 17 through 22, we'll talk about some things there too. Matisse Wytick, who is going to die, you think? Well, I thought somebody was going to die in 11/22, but nobody did. So as of now, in the first so many episodes, we lost Sebastian and we lost Lance. We have not lost anybody from our group in a very long time. I don't know how to say your name, but don't you think they're milking the CRM reveal? I think they are, and we might not even get a CRM reveal, which would be pretty crappy and pretty annoying if they don't even do a CRM reveal, which I think they need to, but that means that they won't. So in 11/22, it's another slow episode like 11/21. And the buildup is there, and we're waiting for big stuff to happen, right? We're waiting. So we already lost Sebastian and we lost Lance, which is good. But, yeah, Michael Sears, I thought Annie was a goner last night. I thought Annie was going to die as well, but no one did, right? So the big thing is that we're thinking, I think the people that are still alive, I think Annie could die. I think Aaron or Jerry or both, Tommy and Rosita, I think are my 5 picks, the people that die. But I could be wrong. I don't know. So the big thing is that 11/21 sets up 11/22, and 11/22 sets up 23, and there's not really much that happens. So we know that our group, Negan's group, so Negan, Kelly, Ezekiel, and then all of a sudden, Tyler Davis, also Princess, Magna, and Annie now are all working on stuff at the well, I guess they're at the Alexandria Processing Center, the Outpost 22. M King is back. Wow, I haven't seen M King in a long time. It's been a way too long time, that's for sure. So now the episode is basically, it starts with the Negan kind of thing when Judith is narrating, and I like that. And we haven't seen Dog. Yeah, there's no Dog, that's for sure. But so it's like Negan. So when Judith is narrating, they focus on a character. Like before in 17, it was like everybody. 18, I think, was Daryl. 19, Maggie or so was Carol or something. Maggie. They've had different characters, and this one, 22, is Negan. So I do like the dynamic that Negan and Ezekiel aren't friends, but we already know that. They went back to that. So this episode was like reiterating what we already know. Negan loves Annie and protects Annie. Ezekiel and Negan don't work together. They don't want to work together. Ezekiel hasn't forgotten what Negan has done. Great. But Negan hasn't done anything lately that has been anything that great. But they were making us think that Negan was going to die for the cause. But we already know that Negan's not going to die, so it's a waste of time trying to scare us like that because Negan and Maggie are in their own show after the show ends. So what are we talking about? Why put some stuff up there like, oh, Negan's going to die, Negan's going to die? Nope, didn't happen. We already know that because you already filmed 6 episodes of Dead City that he's clearly in. So he has to survive, right? But so it's Daryl and Carol looking from outside Alexandria, basically. It's like by the windmill, even though we know where it is, if you know the filming location. And they see Negan, Annie, Magna, Princess, and they're working on the railroad, and they're on the railroad tracks, and they're working on stuff. And they come up with, Kelly knows that there's 4 inside and 2 on the perimeter, and they're keeping track of how many people are there. And we don't know how many days have gone by and whatever there is. But we know that they're trying to work on something. Zenith, that's a good question. Do you think Padre are involved with the Commonwealth and not CRM? I don't know. I really don't think Padre is connected with anything. I think Fear the Walking Dead is doing its own thing. It's a big waste of time. I just don't think Padre is going to connect. It should, but again, I was saying that earlier. All the stuff should connect, but it probably won't. It's just my opinion. So the factor is that Negan is looking, and I don't know why Annie is doing like labor on the railroad tracks. Like they should know she's pregnant. So she should have another job. And that really like bothers me about it too. You're like, no, come on. Don't do that. You know she's pregnant. She's clearly pregnant. And you should have, you should know that. So Negan sees that his wife is, working hard out there. So he goes over to, they don't give them names, the Commonwealth, just numbers, like 197. And Negan's like, I'll work harder to take out the slack off of my wife. Like, I'll work her shifts, I'll do doubles, I'll do all that stuff. And you have to commend the guy. He's looking out for his wife, and you see he's a caring guy and a caring individual. And I think everybody would love Negan if he didn't kill Glenn and Abraham. And he wasn't involved with big stuff like that. Because he's a likable character. Like, if you started watching it and you didn't know about the Glenn Abraham stuff, you probably would really like Negan. And I know there's people that do like Negan. And I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan a lot, so, it makes you like the character a little bit more. But either way, so that Daryl and Carol see that they're in trouble. And so it's Father Gabriel and Rosita working together. We don't really see them much in this episode. Connie and Daryl go into the sewer drains, which I would have liked for them to talk about Daryl, I would have loved for Daryl to look at the spot where Carl died and just made reference to it. Even if it's 2 seconds. He just looks at it and he's like, and just keeps walking. And people are like, what was that? What was that? And that's where Carl died. Or Carl was bit and whatever, But he didn't. And they kill some walkers that are somehow in the sewer drains. No idea. And then it's Maggie and Carol sneak into the Alexandria, which is pretty cool. Well, it's good to have you back, M. King, my guy on there too. Hope you're doing well. Mateus Wytek, do you think they could have faked The Walking Dead City for people not to suspect Negan's death and then he dies? No, they're not going to have a major production for 6 episodes, filmed for months and months and months, permits, all this stuff to fake people out that Negan dies. No, there's no way that they do that, right? Like, that's going to be crazy stuff. Like, what if it was they're not actually doing Dead City? Like, no, come on now. That's crazy. Chrome CTFcom Esports, what's up? So that's kind of cool. We get to see that working together. We get to see Maggie and Carol sneak into Alexandria. They knock out a guard, listen to see what's going on. They actually end up, like, we only see Herschel inside Alexandria, and he kind of like screams for help. He's like, help, help, help. And then later on in the episode, we see Maggie and Carol save him. Like, I'm pretty sure it's Maggie who goes in, is like, poof, just takes a shot at the Commonwealth trooper and just takes him out. Like, boom, takes him out. It was awesome. But why is Herschel there by himself in a room? Where are the rest of the kids? We don't know. It's not explained. Herschel doesn't have any answers. He doesn't know anything. So we got to wait out next week. And it's like, stuff happens in this episode, but it doesn't. It's like, okay, cool. What really happened in this episode 1122? And what really happened in 1121? They're building up for 1123, the big battle, the big war, the big sequence that hopefully is awesome and amazing and great. And we haven't seen Dog, but we did see Luke. Luke and Jules return. So we see that a walker comes towards Lydia. Lydia kills the walker. And Eliza's, hey, what if it was one of the climbers? Hey, careful. Like, it's a walker. They're not going to karate kick you in the chest, take your knife, and kill you with it. The walkers should have limited strength, limited abilities, limited senses, limited everything. But they're making them like superhuman. Like, be careful. Like, you should be able to kill a walker by now pretty easily. It's been so many years in the zombie apocalypse. And plus, they would be rotting away and whatever. But, we have to just suspend it and just see how we do too. So, they hear noises in the woods. Jerry, Lydia, Aaron, and Elijah. And they're looking around. They take out their knives and their swords and their whatever. And they're like, hey, come out. Come out now. And it's Luke and Jules. Hey, where have you been all this time? They don't even make it to Oceanside. So Aaron's group does not even make it to Oceanside. So they've been traveling and traveling and traveling and traveling and traveling forever. And they don't even make it there. So Jules and Luke tell them that they were out on a supply run or doing something, and the Commonwealth people came and they did this, and it's gone. Oceanside is gone. The Commonwealth people run it. They do this. He's like, well, our group is going back to Alexandria. So the last time Aaron's group left, they were supposed to go to Alexandria. So they were supposed to be doing this whole time. So Aaron's group's doing their own thing over here, wasting time, kind of taking this tangent of the story. And so they start walking and do this, and the Commonwealth patrols come around. So then they kill a walker and put the blood and guts trick. They do the meat poncho trick on them, and they end up walking among the walkers. I don't know. I'm not really sure where they're going. I don't know where they make it to. It's hard to really make it out there at night. And there's a Commonwealth. There's 2 Commonwealth patrols, and they're not, taking out the walkers. They're just shining lights on them, like they're looking for Aaron's group, I guess, and Oceanside people. I don't know what they're really doing, but it's dramatic and it's this and it's full effect. And they're walking among the walkers with the meat ponchos and the guts trick, and they're hiding among the walkers kind of, and the lights are kind of shining on them, but they're not. And Lydia somehow drops a knife that's in her hand. A walker falls down, like crawls, and picks up the knife, and then keeps walking. So now it's like, whatever. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but nothing really happened with it, and so it was there. So then the other thing is the Eugene trial. That's kind of a big thing. And it's so quick. It happens in this. It's like they're interviewing. So luckily, Pamela Milton is not the judge. She's just a witness, and she is super fake. She's crying and she's like, "Oh, my boy, I love my boy. Don't let my boy die in vain. He didn't die for nothing." Episodes ago, everybody hated Sebastian. All of the Commonwealth hated Sebastian. They're like, "Give us Sebastian now. We want Sebastian. Give us Sebastian now." And now they're all sitting around. They're like, "Yeah, let's see what Pamela Milton says about this." You're like, it's so stupid. The writing is just so dumb. So it's like, what? And so Yumiko is trying to be a good lawyer. And she's like, "No, objection, objection." And the judge is like, "Nope, overruled." So you're like, man, this judge is crap. So you got a judge. No jury, by the way. There's no jury whatsoever, which makes no sense. And then the story is going this. And then Yumiko's like, I got to figure out something to do. So, sorry, Constipated Sin City says, do you know what film I'm referring to when I said Maggie and Negan were a married couple? The Superman, Batman, whatever that is. It's the Superman Batman movie. They're the couple. They're Bruce Wayne's mom and dad. So, thank you, M. King. He says, the writing is like hurry up and finish. That's what it feels like, right? So the Eugene trial, that would have been like half a season in other seasons. But here, it's over in one episode. So Yumiko is like, we got to talk about something here. We're going to do this. You know what we're going to do? We're not going to talk about Eugene at all. Hey, Pamela Milton, how do you feel about the lottery? I feel about the lottery. It's great, blah, blah. And then Yumiko turns the tide against Pamela Milton and makes her look bad. Has nothing to do with Eugene because we all heard the recordings. And then Pamela Milton's like, that wasn't my son. That was altered. It was altered. Who did it? Your client or whatever. You're like, come on. We all know this is crap. So then Yumiko tries to talk to Mercer. Well, Yumiko tries for Max to go talk to Mercer, which makes sense, but Mercer can't get anywhere near him. So Yumiko's like, I'll do it. So Yumiko goes to talk to Mercer, and this is the thing we've been building up for so many episodes. So many episodes, right? So is Mercer going to flip? When's Mercer going to flip? Is Mercer going to actually protect the Commonwealth? Is he going to join the Miltons? Is he going to help things? Is he going to do things? I don't know, right? So the big thing about it is that we're going to have Mercer at the end of the episode. We know that Mercer is on our team group, go against the Commonwealth and Pamela Milton because he rescues Eugene. Because Eugene is found guilty in the episode, which we kind of knew was going to happen. He didn't really get a fair deal and a fair shake and a fair trial. So you see Eugene has the sack over his head and the Commonwealth troopers. And it's kind of, I called it in my fair trial video that Mercer takes him out. He takes the hood off and is like, yeah, we're going to F shit up. Like he curses. And it's awesome. And it's like one of those things where you're like, wow, it's the right dialogue. It's the right thing. And then if you watch the inside the episode, Angela Kang was like, we did this takes and we did this thing and we had our scenes. And then Michael actually ad-libbed this. And I love that because it makes sense that you would say something like that at that time. You would curse and you'd be like, let's do it. Let's get it on. Let's take him down. It's a nice callback to Rick should have really cursed in the train car. But, that was season 4 and, couldn't really do stuff back then. And now they're dropping F-bombs a couple parts. So, Mercer was so awesome. Mercer's awesome like every time. Like I want a Mercer show. Like I want Mercer stuff. I want Mercer to have his own stuff. I want to have his own show. I want to see him how he was before the Commonwealth. I want to see that. And, I want to see a 6-episode miniseries of Mercer. I think it would be awesome. And AMC Plus, you could do it. I think it would work. That means it probably won't happen, right? That's how it goes. This is how it goes. So, sets up next week's episode. Again, it's like a setup episode, like nothing really happens. So, Mercer flips, saves Eugene. But the way he says it is like, yeah, we got Eugene. Like Eugene is not some badass dude. He's like, I took it out and saved you, and we're going to get stuff done, right? If he said that to Negan or Daryl, like, come on, let's go, let's get stuff done. it just would have felt better. But I know what he's doing, and it was a good thing to have that. And I didn't really feel like Eugene was going to be, in danger. So Eugene also does his monologue of he flips, and he was talking. I took it as he was talking about his time with the Saviors, that he joined them to stay alive, and he did what he had to do. He's not proud of it, and those people were terrible, and they did some stuff there that he's not proud of and happy about. And I think that's what he was talking. He doesn't say that, but he's talking about some things that he's on borrowed time or extra time. He was supposed to die earlier on before Abraham. Abraham saved him. People saved him multiple times, and it was cool to see that. And I love the dialogue that Eugene gives, and it makes sense. So it's just something that I like the episode overall, but it's something that, exactly like James says, we know that Negan survives. Like it's just right. Exactly. I'm the same way, James. Like, so what other stuff can I really hit before I talk about Alexandria? Now we got the Eugene being freed by Mercer. Pamela Milton is a fake person. You can tell that the Commonwealth people are going to not stand for that, and that's kind of what was up there. It's been a long time coming, though. We knew this was like multiple times with Lance and Mercer and Pamela Milton and Mercer and this and Mercer, and now he's finally like, hey, we're gonna join the fight here. So Alexandria. So that's like kind of the big part of the stuff. Besides, seeing Jules and Luke finally shows up there. So we got Alexandria, and so Princess says, hey, there's Tyler Davis over there. He wasn't actually sent away. He was put in this labor camp, like somebody was talking about in the comments earlier, the top chat. So we thought Tyler Davis would have been sent away by CRM or to CRM, and it didn't happen. So there's been multiple times that we would think that CRM could show up or there's been connections with it, and it just never happened. So I'm just thinking it's not going to happen, which kind of sucks. Right? So, yeah, they talk about Oceanside and that the Commonwealth is running it and this and that, and they control it, but Jules and Luke escaped and they got away, and their patrols are coming after them. So I'm guessing that's what the people on the Jeeps were looking for, Jules and Luke, and that's, just what we would assume. But inside Alexandria, so Father Gabriel and Rosita do their own thing. We don't really see them at all in the episode much. Maggie and Carol sneak into Alexandria, and Daryl and Connie go down in the sewers. And so we see them do their own thing, but then they kind of go away until the end of the episode. So it's Negan trying to come up with an idea of what he does. He gets into like a fight with the Commonwealth troopers. Negan should have been killed like several times, but he wasn't. And so Negan is sent to the warden, and he knows that the warden is basically him. He feels like that's how it was. He sees himself in the warden guy. And the warden found the piece of cloth that Negan was writing on there, the patrols, how many people, how many this, how many that. So he knows that something is up. And he's trying to figure out who the traitor is. So Negan is sent back out to go find out who it is. And him and Ezekiel talk to Tyler Davis. And Tyler Davis is like, yeah, they've tried multiple times. It all works out the same, that people die. Innocent people die. And Negan doesn't want that. Nobody wants that. So Negan goes back in to meet with the warden. And he's like, so you got a name? But previously, the warden says, no names. It doesn't matter who you are. So why is he supposed to get a name? You're not supposed to use names. What are you talking about? The writing all over the place. But either way, everyone's sleeping in, I don't know, barracks or bunk beds or whatever. And the Commonwealth troopers bring everybody out, and everyone walks over to the windmill, and you see like blood splatter and spots of blood on the windmill wood. So I guess they had executions there. It just looks that way. They don't talk about it, but they bring Negan out, and he's standing there, and you see the blood splatter behind him. So I'm guessing that's what it's from. And then they make him kneel, and then they're going to shoot him. And as it's a big, epic thing, we're supposed to be scared for Negan's life, but we know he lives, so it's dumb. And then Annie runs out and is like, no, Negan, you can't do that. And so the warden guy, I don't know his name, it doesn't really matter. He grabs Annie's like, there's no martyrs here, and puts her right next to Negan. And Negan's like, that's not part of the deal. What are you doing? Take me. And, we understand what's happening here. He's stepping up again for his wife. And so Negan and Annie are about to be executed. And we see Ezekiel, and he's like, I got to do something. And he comes out, and he's like, walks in, and he's like, oh, hey, what are you doing? No. And Negan asks him, what are you doing? Best line of the episode. I don't know. I don't know. And Negan's like, hey, you don't have to do this. Or, sorry, Ezekiel's like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. No. And then the guy, the Commonwealth trooper 197, who previously, when Negan was there, was shut down for a transfer. And 197 has a brother that's sick, and he wanted to transfer to see his brother. And the warden was like, well, you should have came to me about it, not went behind my back and had to ask for a transfer. So 197 flips and helps out and stuff, basically in the episode a little bit. But Negan, Annie, and now Ezekiel are in the firing line. And they're all looking on. And Ezekiel's like, hey, you don't have to do this. We can be better at this. We don't have to do this at all, blah, blah, blah. So then Princess comes in, and Nabila comes in, and Tyler Davis comes in, and this person comes in, and that person comes in, and this person, and like 10 people are there, standing there. And the warden's like, kill them all. And so they're all looking what to do, and 197's like, I don't know. And he is going to put his gun down, but then he points his gun at the warden, and now the other guys the other Commonwealth troopers point their gun at him, and then who comes in to save the day? Dun, 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 dun. Who do you think? Daryl, right? You guessed it, Daryl. So then Daryl comes in and I thought he killed him, the warden, but he just knocks him out. And so there's kind of going down, and they kill one of the Commonwealth troopers. And then this is the same time where Maggie and Negan go in. They hear Herschel. They go into the door, kick the door open. They kill the Commonwealth trooper. They talk to Herschel. Rosita comes in like, Coco? Where's Coco? And then Herschel's like, I don't know where he is. So Coco's not there. The rest of the kids aren't there. We don't know what's going on with Herschel. I don't know. So Rosita runs down because Negan's about to smash the warden's face in with a rock. And he's like, oh, from the trailer. Rosita's like, no, wait, don't do it. So he stops, comes over to the warden. Is like, where's Coco? Where's the rest of the kids? Where's Coco? And he doesn't say anything, just smiles. And he's like, stupid face, And then Rosita grabs the Commonwealth trooper that is now a walker in 0.3 seconds, right? It's crazy. Sebastian takes 10 years to turn a walker. Now this guy's a walker in 5 seconds. Whenever they need it to do, just the continuity of things, and just doesn't make sense. So either way, they bring the guy over, and Rosita is like, yes, where's my daughter? Tell me, where's my daughter? And he's like, he says something like, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what, I couldn't really make it out. It doesn't matter. Rosita didn't get the information she needed, so she lets the walker bite into his face, and it's like, the dramatic, biting in the face kind of thing, overdone, overplayed out. And then I guess they take over Alexandria, and they got Alexandria back. And so you're like, okay, cool, But it just seems like it shouldn't have been a whole episode for all this stuff. Again, stuff happens, but it's just not happen. I don't know. It's just one of those things where you're like, man, it goes quick, evidently, right? So again, the next one is Eugene being freed, and then it ends with Mercer saying, we about to some stuff up, And the trailer for next week's is just making me, I'm trying to think about what it is. It's like, I see Ezekiel has a gun, and he's shooting at the walkers that are all coming towards them, a bunch of walkers again in the streets. You could tell that was the Griffin or the Noonan filming. I forget what it actually was. What's up, Ed Morris? And I was like, okay, we're going to get the big battle sequence in 23. And Daryl has the Colt Python pistol and he aims it at someone, and it happens quick. There's not much that's really going on in the trailer that makes me like, oh wow. But we know from the other trailers that Eugene still got to fight the Commonwealth trooper. We know that Daryl's carrying somebody that's wounded, which I'm guessing it's I'm just guessing it's going to be Judith, like we all think. Michael Singer says Cowboys up 21-7 over the Bears so far. Nice. So it's just going to be the battle. Stuff's going to be there. I don't know what's going to happen with Pamela Milton, right? Do you think Pamela Milton dies? Do you think she lives? Because how could she live, right? So we already lost Sebastian. We already lost Lance. I would assume that we need for the Pamela Milton to fall too. And Yumiko's got to be. So I'm guessing that they showed it right here in 11:22 that the judge is full of crap, right? Pamela Milton, full of crap. Both need to go. Don't let the door hit you, right? So the judge needs to be Yumiko, and it probably will be because she's fair, she's just, she's this, she's that, she's good. And that's just, I think, where they're going with the character. But it's also, the other thing that I thought was funny is they love the train station in the Commonwealth. They must have like 5 sets, and that's one of them. Because that's where they have the trial, right in the train station. They don't have a courtroom, they got a train station, right? When in doubt, go to the train station. And it's just kind of laughable. Like, you can see, like, they're on the way out. They're kind of doing things, making it work, what it is, you know. Phantom Deluxe Q&A, why do you think the writers had rushed the Negan vs. Beta fight? Because it was the most anticipated moment before the airing of episode 16. I don't know. I mean, they took the easy way out. They took the easy way out a couple ways, too. And, you know, I would have loved for the Negan Beta fight to be a little, like, the Beta Daryl fight was, like, way too much. It was great, but it was way too much. And the Negan and Beta fight was way too small. So I don't know if they can get the right moments, the right pacing of things. And also, they love to stretch things out. But the Eugene trial, that's one episode, one and done. Guilty. Which I could see what they're doing. Again, I just feel like these last 4 episodes, so 21, 22, 23, I guess, and then 24 is the finale, so it's going to wrap things up. But I feel like you could have had another 6 episodes, another 8 episodes, easily. It just makes sense that you have all these different things going on, all these different story arcs, and they're going to wrap it up like, boop, done. That's it. So the warden, no connections with CRM that we know of. He was killed, or he got bit on the face by the walker. So I guess he's still alive until they take him out. No CRM stuff there. We didn't see Lance yet as a walker, which I'm sure we'll see him in 23. The big group of walkers are walking towards something, and I'm guessing that's what's going to be what Ezekiel himself's shooting at. But, yeah, so, like, if we had season 11 was 16 episodes, right? That's a normal Walking Dead season. We got 8 extra episodes, part 3. You could have done 8 and 8, and it could have finished in season 12. Right now, I'm thinking it should have been at season 12 seasons. Because it's just going to feel rushed. It's just going to feel incomplete. You could have, I don't know, it could have set things up. It just could have been little tweaks here and there. Could have done wonders, too. Maria says, 1IB, did you already talk about the variant walker that might put Aaron's group in danger already? Yeah, I talked about them a little bit. But, yeah, so the walkers there's a walker that picks up a knife that I believe that it was, it looks like Lydia drops. So there's a walker walking around with a knife now. And so I just... Like, it just seems like kind of cool, but also kind of cheesy and kind of things like, oh, walkers can use weapons now? Walkers can just do all this stuff now. And yes, they were in season 1. And some people were saying in season 2. And then we didn't see it again all the way up until this. And then we saw other ones that were sleeping and they were this and then whatever. The Walker stuff is what it is. Like I said, some of the people come back super fast as Walkers. Some people are slow. But again, it's just The Walking Dead is just doing what shows do when they end. They run out of time, run out of energy, run out of budget, run out of writing, run out of good stuff. And we're running out of time because we're running out of episodes too. Q&A, where are they supposed to go with the Horde, Aaron, and the others? This Commonwealth? Great question. I don't know. I don't know where they're going. It's at night, and you see the 2 patrols of the Commonwealth Jeeps that have the spotlights on them. And I guess they're taking it to the Commonwealth. Right? But it's you were going all this time to Oceanside. You never make it there. And then you got to go back and walk all the way back to the Commonwealth. How long is that going to take? It took you so long to get there. Are they still around that? And why is Jules and Luke they're in the woods and it's good to see them and it's cool and I don't want to have any more plot holes than necessary. But where are they in the things? How long is it going to take them to get back? How many days have gone by since that trip? I don't know. Muhammad Q&A, what do you think will happen next week? So I think it's the battle. I think the Commonwealth starts to fall. I think Pamela Milton is the part where she screams, no! She screams and she's got the blood splatter on her face. I don't know if she dies. And I don't know when she would die. She would probably have to die in 24, right? So I don't know when we're going to get the big sequence with Eugene, Father Gabriel, and Rosita. But Rosita finds Coco. And then she gets to her. And then the word is that she gets bit and goes into an ambulance. That's bright red, by the way. It's the most red ambulance I've ever seen in my life. And the word is that she dies. That she gets a walker bite and she can't be saved. So we'll have to see if that's true or not. We'll have to see if Tommy gets collateral damage and he tries to help out and tries to do stuff in the Commonwealth and the Commonwealth troopers. But then we know that Mercer is going to take his Commonwealth troopers and get stuff done. And I would think that Mercer is going to be able to pull a lot of people to his side. But we're going to have Commonwealth troopers fighting our group. Plus, it's going to take some stuff. I'm sure we'll see Maggie with the Commonwealth troopers and our people going back to the Commonwealth and getting stuff done. And because I think it's pretty sure it's Negan dialogue in the trailer where he talks to Maggie and he's like, well, as long as Pamela Milton's still breathing, it ain't going to stop. This ain't ever going to stop. So then Negan's got to take out Pamela Milton or someone's got to take out Pamela Milton, right? So it just doesn't make sense to have Pamela Milton live unless she's connected with the CRM and she goes there and then that's what they're doing to go take out Pamela Milton and that makes sense, right? But again, that makes too much sense and it probably won't happen. So, because we have to find out why does Negan and Maggie leave Ohio, Virginia, wherever they are there to go to D.C.? Why do they go to New York and New Jersey? Because Maggie is all about Herschel. Negan is all about Annie and his baby. So are they kidnapped? Are they taken? Are they killed? All the above, none of the above. I don't know. So Marie says, do you think that 197 Trooper joins our group? I'm thinking he does. I think so too. I think that Mercer is going to pull his weight and get all the troopers that he can on their side. Dragon says, Pamela is General Beale's mistress? Man, now that would be something. And not to be mean, but I don't know how old Pamela Milton is. And I don't even know who General Beale is, how old he is, where he's at, what he is, what he looks like, anything. But I don't know. Well, Pamela Milton is fitting the story well, like she's supposed to, but I just don't see her staying alive making sense. You think they leave Heath as a plot hole? Well, Yes and no. We know that Heath was traded by Jadis to the CRM. So Jadis, Heath, the RV, traded for that. That's where it is. But it wasn't discussed on screen. It wasn't discussed in there. Angela Kang or Gimple or both of them or one of them said that. And it's like, I don't know. But we'll see if you know the PPP plot hole. Yeah, that was a big plot hole for sure, even though we saw it again in Tales of the Walking Dead. And it's nice little connections, but they're little breadcrumbs that go nowhere. You leave a breadcrumb to get somewhere, to get back to somewhere, or make progress, right? It just makes sense. Efren Guzman says, hey, One Eyebrow, what's your last scene prediction? I think it's just a shot at Alexandria, and everybody lives there. So our group's going to take back Alexandria, which they have basically, Hilltop, and probably Oceanside. So it'll probably be all the communities and our group just taking back the communities and just living their lives that way. I think that's just going to be the final scenes of it. And then we'll have the credits and then whatever post-credit scenes that they want to do. Or one scene. Like I said, I hope it's multiple scenes, that's for sure. Carol Q&A, what if Annie dies after having that baby and Negan goes away to find his baby with Maggie? That could work too, you know? So I think something has to happen with Annie and the baby. Like, does somebody come in and kill Annie and then runs away and Negan's trying to find them to have justice? But why did Maggie go with them? Like, there's a lot of what-if questions. And the easiest way is that Annie and Herschel are both taken. So then they have to go. But then why are they by themselves? Where's Daryl? Where's Carol? Where's anybody else that survived? Why is it just Maggie and them? Why is it just Maggie and Negan? I just hope it makes sense, and I don't know if it will. A lot of these spin-offs, like Fear of the Walking Dead, World Beyond, Tales of the Walking Dead, and these shows to come, they fit the Walking Dead universe like, I wouldn't say a square peg in a round hole, but it's more like an oval trying to fit into a circle. Like, it kind of fits, but if I turn it a certain way, it fits better. If I do certain things, it fits better. And it's like, it kind of works, but it doesn't, right? It's not the right circle that's supposed to fit. I don't know. Maria One Eyebrow, who do you think survives Oceanside? Well, they mention Rachel, but we don't see Rachel. But I think Rachel's got to survive, right? I mean, I guess she could die off camera, but then people are like, is Rachel still alive? Is Oceanside still alive? Who's left for Oceanside? We just know that Jules and Luke are there. Or survived. They left, but they survived. So it's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what they want to do. Like I figured that The Walking Dead would kill some characters off already, and they haven't. Do they not have, I don't know, for lack of a better term, balls to kill off any major characters? Because you can't kill off Daryl. You're not killing off Carol. You're not killing off Negan. You're not killing off Maggie. You're not killing off anybody like that. But you can kill off Father Gabriel, Rosita, Aaron, Jerry, Ezekiel, Connie, Kelly, Magna, Luke. You can kill off all those characters. But it looks like we're killing off like one of those characters. Maybe two of those characters. I don't know. It just seems like they don't really do anything, right? And if, like, I would assume that some of these actors will never play in the Walking Dead universe ever again. Right? So then kill them off. Or do something heroic for them to do that. Why not? That's why I think Jerry or Aaron, something's going to go out. Something's going to happen then. It just makes sense. And they would be impactful deaths. Like, oh no, not Jerry. Not Jerry. Not Aaron either. I like both of those. And again, it might not happen at all. But we'll have to see how it goes down. Now, one of my latest videos, too, is talking about Michonne news, the Rick and Michonne show. I'm going to end the stream on that. And if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check out that video. But basically, Denai Guerrera was at the premiere of Wakanda Forever, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, because she's in that movie, of course. And she was interviewed by The Hollywood Reporter, and they asked her a couple questions, and she couldn't answer a couple questions, and then she answered about The Walking Dead. And she said that she's working on pre-production with Scott Gimple and Andrew Lincoln, two of her favorite people, and she enjoys working with them. It's a lot of work, but she enjoys it, and she can't wait for it to happen. And then I saw somewhere else that I think the word is that they're going to start filming in January next year. So that's, exciting. Which it says, she also said it's going to be a limited series. So does that mean 1 season? 2 seasons? What do you think? I mean, I think it would be great for 2 seasons, 6 episodes and 6 episodes. I think that would be great. I don't know. Some people brought up a great question. How could they do it in 6 episodes? Is it enough that they can put in 6 episodes? I mean, we're obviously going to get 1 season of 6 episodes. But will it be enough to answer Rick and Michonne? How do they find each other? How do they get back? Do we see them reunite with Daryl, with Morgan, with Judith, with Meet RJ? All the characters that we want to see. So if we know that Rick and Michonne are going to come back, and we know Morgan don't die, we know Daryl don't die, we know Carol don't die, we know Maggie don't die, we know Negan don't die, which would be interesting to have the Negan dynamic of Rick and Negan see each other. He's like, hey, Rick. And Judith is right next to Negan, and he's like, get away from my daughter. And Judith's like, whoa, Dad, whoa, relax. I don't know. But again, I don't write for the show. I don't write for that. I write my own book series. Fight for Us, which is going great. I'm excited for book 17, which is titled The Island. It'll be out later this year. I'm on chapter 9, I think, for my final review, which is halfway. It's 18 chapters, but we'll have to see. Next book will be. I'm excited to see how it comes out for you guys. I'm excited for the guys who are reading the series and enjoy it. It's one of my favorite books to write and one of my best. And I'm taking my time with it because I want it done right. That's for sure. I've learned in the past what to do and what not to do, more importantly, there too. So, all right, guys. So that's my time. That's my hour. Thank you guys for all being here. 11:20. Like, don't get me wrong. 11:22 is a decent episode. It's not bad. So is 11:21. Not bad at all, too. But it's like they're wrapping stuff up quick. It feels like stuff happened, but it didn't. It feels like, I don't know. Well, we got 2 episodes left, 23 and 24. So I'll watch 23 next Sunday, and we'll talk about it. And then the following week, we'll talk about, I guess, all the episodes. And then the following week, November 20th, is the final episode of The Walking Dead show. Season 11, episode 22, which I believe is titled Rest in Peace, I believe. But thank you guys for being here. I'll be back next Sunday. Happy Halloween for those who are giving out candy, or if you had a party and stuff like that there. Hopefully you'll all be safe and sound. I'll be giving out candy here. It'll be hot. Hopefully you'll be warm and it's not raining on you. That would suck. But all right, guys, I'll be back next Sunday. And remember, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. Keep working hard. I'll be back next Sunday. Enjoy tonight's episode if you haven't seen it yet. And I'll be back. See you guys. Happy Halloween.